to the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, PGIM, the one and only national institute that is responsible for specialist training in the field of medicine in Sri Lanka. It all started with the Portuguese sailors set foot on this island in 1505. Since then, our forefathers had the opportunity of coming in contact with the Western form of medicine. 150 years later, the Dutch, and a further 150 years, the British, had their own share of introducing modern medicine to Sri Lanka. It was only during the British period that Western form of medicine took deep roots in the island with the establishment of the Colombo Medical School in 1870. However, it was entirely focused on undergraduate training but nothing further. Looking into the PGIM, earlier it had two wings, with a PGIM office and with a library. The office consisted of an administration and academic branch, an accounts branch, and an exams branch. Today it encompasses 7 major divisions: General Administration, Academic Division, Examinations Division, Finance Division, Computer Center, Medical Education Resource Center, and the library. All of these divisions are having experienced staff members, some serving for more than 20 years. Nevertheless, the toil, tears, and sweat of the early campaigners of medical education paved the way to the establishment of PGIM. Eventually, the whole ethos of medical education has got lifted up to the glory that is being witnessed today. So let us go back 30 years in time and unfold the story of this prestigious institution. What was the situation that prevailed at that time with regard to postgraduate education?
I would say it was zero, it was nil in our country. But there was an effort made, some of our doctors went abroad and corrected British diplomas on their own. I think the first time was CPOL. Whatever before the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine started. Then the University of Colombo, it was called University of Sri Lanka at that time, conducted an MD exam and an MOG exam to cover the disciplines of medicine and obstetrician. Because the people are not returning, but the state realized that this brain drain, and sometimes at the expense of the state, was going to cause a problem. Well, I remember in 1968, even our non-postgraduates were immigrating. Immediately got their qualification because they got fertile fields abroad.
Now, the birth of the PGIM. How and when did it start?
Speaking about postgraduate education in 1973, there was a committee appointed to study postgraduate medical education in our country. And they came up with a proposal. It was actually an advisory committee. They came up with a proposal that we, and I think Dr. Soma Virtunga played an active part in it. He was a general practitioner from Pennsylvania. He was the Secretary of Health. He went up to the physiology lecture department and persuaded Professor K.N. Sinivatna, a very honorable and highly respected teacher, to take the job of heading a postgraduate institute of medicine. K. Nurul, as he was called, agreed, but for some strange reasons, unknown reasons, he did not succeed.
By the end of 1979, under the provisions of the Universities Act, the institute was renamed as the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, with Dr. Shelton Cabral as its director. PGIM recognized boards of study in 12 specialties, courses of instructions, and examinations were formalized, and many bold decisions were undertaken.
It was decided to ban the recognition or the preference given to foreign degrees on the 1st of January 1980. But they made an allowance that those who had gone earlier to obtain postgraduate degrees could come back and be registered.
1989, this was the time when Professor R.G. Pandavika became the third director of the PGIM. Could you tell us something on this?
Yes, I knew him very well. We used to call him Professor Ralph Pandavika. And I remember him when I was a medical student. He was in the Department of Pathology at University of Colombo. He was a very fine teacher. He was a very good histopathologist, I remember. He went over to Pennsylvania and there he rose up to the level of a Vice Chancellor. And then he came back to the PGIM and served 2 terms. He made a contribution in the way of building up the solid structure of the PGIM. He planned the building and laid the groundwork for the future directors.
You were born as a director of the PGIM in 1996. Please tell us what was the most important achievement during that period?
I think the most important achievement during my time was the conversion of the PGIM from examinations institute mainly for examination, to one where training was considered the most important aspect. So there was a conversion from examination institute to a training institute. See, originally the training was entirely by apprenticeship, which meant that you were allocated to one consultant, worked with him for 2 or 3 years, satisfied him and got a good report, and then you sat for your exam. But that was considered inadequate. We had to virtually stratify the training, assess it, and know exactly what the student has to do during that period.
What of PGIM was examinations overseas. Could you please tell us something about it?
Yes, I think the greatest achievement was actually taking an examination to India. That was the diploma in family medicine, exported by the university or any other institute to another land.
The PGIM building that we see at present was not the one that was there before. It was during your period that the new building was built. Could you please share?
Yes, the old building still exists, but the new building was completed in a very short time of 2 years. We had no problem with getting the money from the UTC and the Ministry of Higher Education, but to get the building into a non-governmental type of building with all the facilities included, like the clinical examination hall, the auditorium, the laboratory, the computer room with the internet connections. That was, I think, the achievement, and I think we can be proud that we have an institute of we can show off to the others who come there to see them.
What was the main academic achievement during your period as the director of the PGIM?
Well, there were several academic achievements. I think one of the most important ones was that we set up the Medical Education and Research Center at the PGIM with WHO funds and a consultant. And thereafter, Merck was very, very active, and we helped organize all the workshops in PGIM. The other important thing was that we set up a computer-assisted learning laboratory. And with the setting up of this, which was available for PG students to use, we also started a certificate of competence in computer application, which is going on now. Then another important development or some progress was made because we introduced through workshops to all the boards of study the concept of appraisal-based training of PG trainers. Now this is rather in the lines of RETA in the UK, and many boards of study picked up the ideas, may not be implemented fully, but the concept is there, and this appraisal-based thing is going on. Then of course 3 boards of study had workshops, got various people to give inputs, foreign examiners and so on, and revise their curriculum. The Forensic Medicine Board, Community Medicine Board, and the Medical Administration. Then new PG courses were planned. Diploma in MD in Transfusion Medicine, and now there are MDs in Transfusion Medicine working in that area in the Ministry of Health. The Diploma in Sports Medicine and the Diploma in MSc Molecular Medicine.
2002, PGIM was facing a financial crisis. What happened?
Well, yes, we were on a negative balance, and that was not good. And one of the reasons for that was that actually PGIM had not revised their fees for 10 years. So we set about doing new fee structures, talking to stakeholders, with a little resistance, but by 2003 the new fee structure was introduced, and also we had negotiated with the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health agreed to pay the fees of all their doctors, and also to pay their examination fees once they cleared the diplomas or the masters or MDs. We also got, I think, a 20 million grant from the Treasury, and university doctors were looked after at the university, and so in the financial situation improved greatly, and by 2005 we were.
Any special events as such during your period as the director of PGIM?
Yes, actually I'm very proud to say that the first ever academic session of the PGIM was held during my time. That was in 2005. And here I have to mention that we had tremendous cooperation from all boards of study. It was a huge success. And very interestingly, we had the first ever PGIM debate, which was on a hot topic, the privatization of medical education. So it was a very interesting debate. And then we had the first PGIM organized the first ever international, the first ever Asian conference, South Asian conference on postgraduate education.
Being the 6th in line of eminent directors, where do you think PGIM right now stands in its trajectory?
We are functioning with 22 boards of study, which are the highest academic bodies, relation and conduct affairs for every discipline. We also have around 26 specialty boards, which look at the different subspecialties or further specialties or what we may call them, but they are also specialties in their own rights. Now, we have 26 MS MD programs of the University of Colombo, and around 15 postgraduate diploma programs, I think 18 postgraduate diploma programs, 5 MSc programs, and a few certification courses. So the student population walking in and out of PGIM is around 2,000 for the whole year. We have an international rating on nearly all of our courses, and we have been externally accredited by visiting examiners from various countries, various law colleges. So we are actually proud. We even have reached out and taken our courses to India, and we are conducting diploma in family medicine for Indian graduates in Indian soil. And we have also reached out to our regional poorer neighbors like Bhutan and Nepal and Maldives, and we are training graduates for them. I think we have been requested by the Bhutanese government to set up special postgraduate programs for their country. So, in a way, we have marched forwards from 1980, where we would have 30 to 100 people in the whole year's programs. Now today we have 2,000. So I think we have made a significant contribution to this country, being a national center for creating all types of specialists, and the main center offering postgraduate.
Have you achieved as the director of PGIM?
The academic aspect, which is the most important. I think I have tried to create certain border study in multidisciplinary studies, because some of the programs we have developed, like medical toxicology or biomedical informatics and so on, needed many inputs from many disciplines. So it was difficult to actually do with the structure we had. So that was a very important breakthrough, that we had this multidisciplinary study, creating new boards of study called specialty boards, which in effect really are academic subjects. We created a board of study in basic and basic sciences, basically anatomy, physiology. New courses are being developed in those. We have invited the University of Oslo to a partnership, and we have the NOMA project, which is a great boost. Funding, we have achieved a lot under the NOMA project, and the WHO has helped us, the DEM project, the Earth project, and so on. So there are millions of rupees which are coming in this form, in addition to our own self-generation of funds, which nearly 60% of our own monies are being now generated, and we depend on the government only for about 40%. But most needed for the PGIM, which we are concentrating on, is quality enhancement. In this way, we are establishing appraisals and assessments in a big way, which was started by my predecessor, and I have strengthened that program. Multi-source feedback of assessing attitudes and so on of students, which is a big issue. We have also tried to improve on monitoring our training programs. I think that is very important. We are working according to a corporate plan which we have ourselves put together, and we are now working on a strategic management plan of the new government. So in many ways we are trying to enhance quality. And finally, I think things which the profession will be happy about is we've established the PGIM oration, which is a very prestigious oration, multidisciplinary. It has been going on very successfully now for 3 or 4 years. And we also had a very important trainer recognition program in the way of fellows and honorary fellows, senior fellows, and visiting professors of the PGIM, which university and health ministry people who have achieved a certain degree of eminence and contribution to the PGIM are recognized, and this I am told it will be.
So finally, where do you think PGIM stands in 2020?
I think this question is basically answered by a vision and mission statements in our corporate plan. Basically, I think PGIM, although it is attached to the University of Colombo for purposes of academic and disciplinary affiliation, and because the University of Colombo is the oldest university in the country, and its rules and regulations and so on all fairly well organized. So being a new institution, it was advantageous for it at that time. link into university. However, the PGIM actually is a national institution. The Board of Management really, its composition has a national character. Every dean of every medical school in the country is there. Every secretary and the health services, the health secretary, the higher education secretary, representatives of the UGC, actually the UGC chairman also was initially there, but all his nominees will come to these meetings and the treasury and so on. Because of that, I think it is necessary that it should evolve slightly differently from the conventional universities of the UGC. I feel that the university status should be achieved for the PGIM as an independent postgraduate medical university in this country, and it should largely be at the pinnacle of the profession with medical specialists determining the future of the next years. I would hope that more and more research programs will be built into our PGIM program, more and more trainers will be involved in research, and the supervising research of our trainees, and our curricula will also have to be slightly redesigned to accommodate research into our. That is really what I feel the PGIM should aim for in 2020.